an incident or an experience that involved music many years ago. Ironically, I was reminded of it coming home on SkyTrain Friday night after the BC Lions game, which I hadn't watched, but I was asking the fans about what they had seen, what they liked, what they thought, and whether we were going to go to the Grey Cup this year. We had a good conversation, and I pointed out to them that they probably weren't aware of it. I played in the 1964 Grey Cup. I played trombone in the Vancouver Beefeaters band, and we played at the halftime show, so it's kind of true. I'd like to reintroduce Justina Mark now, who will carry on the program.
I noticed the skepticism about that joke there. We all know you so well, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Next, we will introduce the Simonton Endowment Fund, but I am going to deviate from script and ask for Andrew Van Broen to come up to tell us a little bit about the fund and to introduce this year's recipients of your fund. Thank you. Andrew. Oh. Okay, thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, Justina. All right. So thanks for having me, everyone. The Simonton Endowment Fund was established by Vivian Symington, who's my mom, and is also the owner and founder of Club Aviva and the Empowering Steps Movement Therapy Program. The fund assists children living with autism and other mobility challenges by providing movement therapy and summer camp programs. The fund also assists athletes who are enrolled in competitive gymnastics programs and in youth at risk programs throughout the Tri-Cities area. At this time, I'd also like to congratulate my mom, who earlier this year was honored by the Tri-Cities Chamber of Commerce with the 2017 Business Leader of the Year Award in recognition of her excellence in business and passion for the community. So it's quite an honor. And it's been a real pleasure to be involved with the Coquitlam Foundation. I'd just like to say a personal thank you. It's been such a great platform for us to be able to give back to the community, a community that's really been great to us as a family. And I just really can't say thank you enough. The group of volunteers, it's probably quite thankless at times, and a lot of things happen that go unnoticed, but I'd like to make sure that we're not overlooking their contribution and really enabling us to easily give back when we can. So thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to call up Nancy Beyer, who is the Women's Artistic Gymnastics Program Director and Head Coach at Club Aviva. And she'd like to say a few words about some of the recipients.
Am I supposed to introduce recipients? Okay. First and foremost, thank you, Vivian and Andrew and everyone here today. And I really want to especially thank the athletes and the parents that have come here tonight. All of the athletes that are receiving awards from trampoline or from gymnastics are amazing. I have the privilege of working with the best of the best. The Club Aviva program has so many athletes, but the ones that are here today are truly the cream that has risen to the top, and they're well-deserved, great families, great kids, so I just want to keep moving on. So can we put them forward? I'm going to ask for Kimmy Poche to come up. Kimmy was represented BC this year at the Western Canadian Gymnastics Championships. Kimmy is not, well, it's her birthday today, actually. She's 10 years old today. And she is a real up-and-coming star. And I think she was sixth on the vault, if you can believe that. She's over that big vault, so congratulations, Kimmy. I would like to I'd like to ask Mara Steinfort to come forward. Mara Steinfort, she has been able to attend Elite Canada for 2 years in a row. She is definitely one of our best athletes, especially on the floor exercise. Unfortunately, Mara was not able to attend our Canadian Championships this year in the junior category because she was injured. but she is now on the road to recovery and is back in the training. So we're very happy to have her back. I would like to ask Abby Vossenaar to come forward. Abby, yes, Yabba Dabba Abby, that's what I call her. Anyways, she was a member of Team BC this year as well. She represented us and Team BC at the Western Canadian Gymnastics Championships in Spruce Grove, like Kimmy, and she received a silver medal on the vault, so congratulations. Athena Hutchinson. So Athena is a real go-getter. This year, she was not able to go to the Canadian Championships, but she finished off her season at the Delta competition. She competed head-to-head with athletes that are well beyond her years and beyond her experience, and she managed to take the all-around title, so we were very, very proud of Athena this year. I'd like to thank Sophie Patterson. So Sophie, she is a rising star. She's one of the youngest athletes this year at the Elite Canada, and also one of the youngest athletes at the 2018 Canadian Championships that were held earlier this year. She is now ranked 10th in the country in her category of high performance novice. So a real star. And I hope I haven't missed anyone, but Scarlett Earle. Scarlett, she has been targeted by Gymnastics Canada as one of the 2024 Olympic hopefuls. Scarlett is currently ranked 7th in the country in the high performance novice category, and she was the Canadian bar champion. She is reigning champion from last year and current champion for this year. So congratulations to Scarlett. I know that all of these athletes have huge potential, and they're all at different stages of their development. The Endowment Fund has helped each and every one of these athletes and their families to be able to train and compete, to travel across Canada. The high-level sport is very expensive, and this support allows them the opportunity that they may not otherwise have, and we really appreciate everything that Vivian has done, Andrew, and everyone in the community in Coquitlam. I know these kids have already started to give back. They were all at the, I don't know if all of them were there, but the Teddy Bear Picnic, they volunteer there. They volunteer at our competitions. They help our young kids that are, I know they seem so young, but there's even younger ones than this coming up. So they're always helping everyone out, and they're setting a wonderful example for everyone in our gym, and hopefully everywhere where they go. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to do a photo?
Would you want me to call the trampoline guys down?
I don't know, should I take a picture with them?
Let's do two separate photos.
All right.
Maybe better.
Get in the photo, you.
Oh, yeah, right. You should see their like athletic ability is amazing. Sorry. Okay. So am I gonna do? I'll do. Okay. So I'm gonna bring up the trampoline guys now, right? Really quick. Okay. So I'm gonna try to keep moving along here. So I'm gonna call up just a barrage of names really quickly from the trampoline part of our program and just announce them all at once. But those of you that are here, please come down. I think that there's a few people that are not present, but I would like to at least acknowledge their work throughout the season. Jordan DeJong, I don't think was able to attend. She's a coach as well, so she actually prioritized training her own athletes to coming here on her own. Same with Emily Christie and David Dawson. They weren't unable to attend. But if I could ask Jordan Byer, Matthew Dykman, Tiana Hesmert, Michaela Kochi, Nicholas Lamond, Tegan Maskey, and Jasmine Parhar to come down really quickly. A quick summary of these athletes. These athletes train in trampoline gymnastics, which is a different sport, although there is some crossover, but these athletes are attending events such as Western Canadian Championships. Jordan Byer, for example, was a medalist this year. Our national championships is coming up in a couple weeks in July. So I just wanted to wish them good luck. We don't know exactly how their season is completely concluded, but they're all looking in good form right now. And I'm really proud of all their accomplishments, and just wanted to recognize that. So thank you, guys. All right, John. Okay, I can hand it up to you if you want. All right. Sorry, there's kind of three, like we have three mandates with our fund. We have too many things we want to do, I guess. But one of it's obviously athletic development, but one is also supporting kids living with neurodevelopmental disabilities. I'd like to pass the mic over to my mom just so she can speak a little bit to those endeavors. So thank you.
So this program is really dear to my heart. I founded it in 2002, and we have about 160 kids enrolled in this program every year now. And it's a one-to-one therapy intervention for children with neurodevelopmental disabilities. It's we treat by function, not by diagnosis. And today we are going to give you a 2-minute video on the Empowering Steps Movement Therapy Program. So Michelle, can you come up now? Oh, there you are.
Do you want me to talk right now?
No.
Okay, good.
The Empowering Steps Movement Therapy Program is primarily a motor intervention program run out of Club Aviva Gymnastics. However, it's a lot more than just a motor intervention program. We also focus on emotional regulation and attachment, as well as sensory processing, coordination and balance. We help the kids increase their attention span and focus. They enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
We work based off of a 10-stage motor scale that's developed by our Empowering Steps staff. We place children within a specific stage and we'll work within their limitations in order to improve their motor capabilities.
Emotional regulation can be a challenge because a lot of the kids come with flustered emotions. Sometimes they come after a long day of school, but at the end of the day, they end off on a very happy note and they end off really excited to come back.
Because we work with a variety of children in the Empowering Steps program, we see a lot of varying degrees of communication skills. We see children that are highly verbal and they're able to communicate effortlessly. We see some children that are still learning verbal communication or can only express themselves in one-word answers or using some form of sign. We learn what signs children know by communicating with their parents or using an ASL sign mixed into their session. We also make use of picture symbols, which allow the child to visually see a schedule or visually see what they're going to next.
We really promote a growth mindset with our children. We focus more on the effort the child is putting in rather than the individual achievements that a child may or may not be having. We have children that have been in the program for maybe 2 years and they were not able to walk, and by taking their first steps, the whole gym actually stopped to applaud, not the fact that the child was walking per se, but the effort that they had been there to witness for the last 2 years, how much effort it took for this child, how much fear they had to overcome in order to take those first 2 independent steps. And that is what's applauded in our program.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, it's such an emotional video for me. My name is Michelle Stoll, and this is my son, Cadence. Cadence is diagnosed with a genetic missing link. He faces many challenges. He has low muscle tone, mobility, balance issues, And when he first started with the program, he was afraid to walk up a step, let alone stairs. And actually, when I watched that video, I remember where he wouldn't go on a trampoline, he wouldn't walk up the step ladder, he couldn't do a somersault. It brings back so many of those memories. Thanks to the Empowering Steps Movement Therapy Program, our ESMT, the bursaries provided by the Symington Endowment Fund, Cadence has made great strides in his motor skills and his personal confidence. I've tried a variety of programs throughout the years, willing to try just about anything to help him with his progress physically, but more importantly, emotionally. It is very difficult to express into words what this program has done for my son, and it overwhelms my heart with so much joy. Cadence not only craves to go to this program weekly, which is huge. If you have a special needs child, it's really hard for them to stay interested, and he looks forward so much to going to this program. He adores everyone involved. He feels safe. He feels so accomplished. He has overcome so many fears and hurdles, and he continues to flourish. He is very happy. He knows everyone in this program truly cares about him. There are moments when I have watched him with tears in my eyes because I know how far he has come, and it gives me so much hope for his future. I am so thankful to this program, for the fund, for the care and attention given to not only my son, but to really every child in this program. The Empowerment Steps Movement Therapy Program has been a life changer, not only for Cadence, but for my family. And I would just like to say God bless the entire ESMT program, the family that they are, and the Symington Endowment Fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian, Andrew, and everybody at Club Aviva and ESMT. I'm glad I had a little break because I got weepy-eyed, so. Now we move towards the community grants part of this evening's program, where we will present grants to various charitable organizations from the Coquitlam Foundation directed funds and from our donor advised funds, which Ron had introduced earlier. The foundation directed funds are created by and are managed at the sole discretion of the Coquitlam Foundation Board. These funds are intended to serve a broad community interest and to reinforce the Coquitlam Foundation's mission to encourage and support creative, targeted philanthropy that builds a vibrant, sustainable, and healthy community. The Foundation's Community Fund is aimed at promoting the well-being of residents living in or near Coquitlam, to support care for persons in need, to promote educational advancement and physical and mental health, to support recreational activities and the conservation of heritage or natural resources, and encourage cultural, education, or other charitable purposes. Now, before I announce the grants recipients for this year, I would like to invite Bill Ray to the stage. In 2017, the Leisure Connections program at Glen Pine 50 Plus was the recipient of one of our community grants. We invited Bill Ray today as representative for the Leisure Connections program to say a few words. Thank you, Bill.
Yes, it was a real pleasure to be asked to come and talk today on behalf of one of the recipients, and actually on behalf of all of the recipients to a degree. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Coquitlam Foundation for the opportunity to talk with you this evening about the Leisure Connections program. The program was started over 10 years ago to address a serious illness that affects seniors in Coquitlam and around the world: Alzheimer's and dementia. Almost everyone knows someone with this disease and understands the serious impact that it has on a person's family and friends. The Leisure Connections program operates to give these people an opportunity to get out in the community and to participate in activities in a friendly environment. Too often, people with dementia and Alzheimer's are housebound and do not get out. As a result, their family becomes increasingly isolated as they try to help their affected family members. Participants meet each week at Glen Pine Center for 4 hours to enjoy a social outing that helps keep their minds active. It also gives family members a clear time away from the day-to-day caregiving with the knowledge that their family members are in a safe environment. 6 years ago, the program faced a serious financial problem. The Glen Pine 50 Plus Society stepped up to this challenge to keep the program afloat. As seniors in Coquitlam, we recognized and understood the importance of these types of programs, as many of our friends, neighbors, and loved ones have been affected by this debilitating disease. In addition to providing some funding for the program, we started looking for ways to help keep the program going with fundraisers and program grant applications. As many of you are aware, finding ongoing sources of funding is quite difficult. One of the early applications was to the Coquitlam Foundation. They understood the need for this type of program and agreed to our ongoing application. As a direct result, we were able to keep the program going while we sought other funding sources. The Coquitlam Foundation's acceptance of our application at a critical time was key to allowing our program to continue helping people with Alzheimer's and dementia and their families. Their continued support has helped us find workable solutions to the operation of the program and to have a better outreach into the community. The City of Coquitlam has also helped significantly with this ongoing program, as well as many community groups such as Rotary, and demonstrated that the results of the program affect all people in Coquitlam. On behalf of ourselves and other recipients, I'd like to thank the Coquitlam Foundation for helping out with our group and many other groups and individuals who are receiving grants. Each grant is very important to all individuals, and each person has a special story about the impact the Coquitlam Foundation has had on them and their programs. The Coquitlam Foundation, from my standpoint, is an important part of our community, and its continuing focus on helping groups and individuals is a great contribution to making Coquitlam a great place to live. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And let's get a photo op.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Please do. Oh, you have to move back. Okay, thank you, Bill. So I will now introduce the 2008 recipients of the Coquitlam Foundation Community Grants. I ask that the recipients, when I call out the name of your organization, to come forward and to remain on stage so that we could take a group photo. So the first grant we have this evening is $2,750 to Camp Carey Society. This grant will be used to support Project Hope, a program of support for families suffering bereavement and grief. And I believe I have a representative here. To accept the award is Leah Hamer. Thank you, Leah. $2,750 grant to the Children of the Street Society. This grant will be used to support a presentation in our schools called TCO2, Taking Care of Others and Taking Care of Ourselves. The program goals are to raise awareness, prevent sexual exploitation and human trafficking in our community, and support families already affected. To accept this award is Matt Byrne, Director of the Board. $2,250 grant to Les Echos du Pacifique. This grant will be used to promote and expand the Francophone Francophile Choir in size and in the number of public performances. To accept this award this evening is Marla Mason, the choir director, Diana Tiwana, and Yvonne Holdrenet. And I should also mention that a few years ago, we had the pleasure of inviting and hearing the Les Echos perform at our award ceremony. I think that's been 2 or 3 years ago, and that was most enjoyable. So good to see them back for another reason. $2,500 to the Unique Get Together Society. This grant will be used to support an adapted music program to be offered at Place des Arts. The program recognizes the unique challenges specific to children with autism. To accept this award is, we have three. Oh, Jarrett Wilkinson. Kevin Maitland, yep. And Deborah Abraham is here? No? Okay, just two. That's good, great. Thank you, congratulations. $2,500 grant to Yell Canada. Yell stands for Young Entrepreneur Leadership Launchpad. This grant will be used to produce 3 short videos that will be openly and widely shared with educators and others in the community. The videos will be inspirational in nature, will showcase youth leadership and innovation, and will enhance a sense of empowerment, belonging, and possibility for youth in Coquitlam. I don't believe anyone from Yell Entrepreneur Canada, is here to accept the award, so we will present that to them at a later date. Our next award will be to Zajac Ranch Society, a $2,000 grant. And this grant will be used to support Zajac Ranch camper allowances, making it more possible for special needs students and their families to enjoy a fully inclusive and accessible summer camp opportunity. I believe we have, to accept the award this evening, is Mel and Wendy Zajac. Hi, Wendy. Okay, here we go. Oh, should we take it? Oh, yep, I think it's a group photo time. Congratulations to our Coquitlam Foundation Community Grant recipients. Now I present grants from our donor-advised funds. First is from the Coquitlam Centre Fund. We have $1,000 grant to the Big Sisters of BC Lower Mainland. This grant will support Big Sisters Study Buddy program, and we will present to them at a later date, as I do not believe a representative is here this evening. From the James Gordon Stewart Fund, we award $3,500 grant to Glen Pine 50 Plus Society Leisure Connections. This grant will help enable a weekly program of support for residents with mild to medium dementia or Alzheimer's, and also offer a brief respite to their caregivers. To accept the award is Linda Ray, President of Glen Pine 50 Plus Society. I now ask Hushang and Jamila Askarian to please come forward to help present our next grant, which is from the Nora Holmes Community Fund. The amount of $2,500 is awarded to New View Society. This grant will enable the purchase of a functional band sealer necessary for the packaging activities carried out by the New View Society. Now, these activities are pivotal towards increasing the employability of residents suffering mental illness. Their work with the New View Society helps move them out of poverty, increases their self-esteem, and provides work experience that is a bridge to other employment. So to accept this award is Chantel Berga and Daryl Roman. Can you please come down? Oh, there you go. So from the Daniel and Gary Cooling Education Fund, $1,000 grant to Pacific Postpartum Support Society. This grant will assist the society, pardon me, I can't say that word, to provide telephone support counseling to women with postpartum depression or anxiety. Trained and experienced counselors will be able to provide information, assessment, referrals, and support. As Ryan mentioned earlier, Daniel and Gary Cooling were unable to be here this evening, but wanted us to express how pleased they are to support this grant. And to accept this award here this evening is Rita Shergill. If Rita could please come down. Ooh. Oh, she's on her way. Okay. Thank you. Take this. Established for the purpose of helping individuals with blood disorder cope with events they may encounter during their illness, we are pleased to present a $1,000 grant to Volunteer Cancer Drivers Society from the Beverly Ann Cook Fund. This grant will assist the Volunteer Cancer Drivers Society to provide free transportation for cancer patients to treatment centers. Joining us to accept this award this evening is George Garrett and Larry Coleman?
Yep.
Okay. The light is, I can't see.
I know.
All right, thank you. I now ask Alex Bell to please come forward to help present the next grant. Thanks, Alex. Well there. Okay. Our next grant is $800 to the Tri-Cities Brain Injury Support Group from the Community Diversity Fund. The support group has more than 40 members and have already benefit from the expertise of guest speakers in areas such as meditation, nutrition counseling, and naturopathy. In addition to their monthly meetings, this grant will support a day trip to Bunsen Lake where they will learn and enjoy adapted water sports beneficial to the recovery from acquired or traumatic brain injury. To accept this award, we invite Cynthia Byrne and Ariel Pastorak to come forward. This word, There you go. All right, well, please join me in congratulating all the recipients of the Donor Advised Fund Awards and the recipient of the Coquitlam Foundation's 2018 awards. I now invite Colleen to stage to make announcements regarding new funds and the Foundation's community partnerships. Thank you.
Well, I've already mentioned the one new fund that is coming up shortly, but we have actually 5 or 6 other funds that are at various stage of people inquiring, trying to get information about what the foundation does and how to go about setting up their funds. So I'm sure next year we'll have some more good news for you. So we've witnessed tonight over $80,000 being given out to the community, and this of course cannot happen without the the support of all our donors and all the people that have roles in the background of the foundation as well as the front lines. So these grants, bursaries, and scholarships are all coming to the community because of our generous donors. And I would also like to mention the Summit School Band. I thought that was really great. I think that that's a good example of the young people in our community putting their efforts together and coming out with a wonderful result. I was sitting down front here with Chris Wilson, and he said he had to choose between music and wrestling. Well, we know what happened. But I had to practically wrestle him down in his seat because he wanted to get up and bust a few moves, and not wrestling moves, dancing moves. But they were really great. So Carol, thank you for arranging that tonight. And upcoming events, please save the date and join us for our annual general meeting, Thursday, September 13th at the Coquitlam Foundation Room in the Town Center branch of the Coquitlam Public Library. So we invite you to find out more about the foundation and our activities, and perhaps consider serving on our board or one of our committees. Thank you all for coming tonight, and I will let Ron take over with a few final remarks.
Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Renee. Would you like to make a difference in our community? You can. Through a bequest or a donation, you can make a contribution to help your neighbors. Through a charitable initiative as simple as a one-time donation to the Coquitlam Foundation's general fund, or as profound as the establishment of an endowment fund, the foundation can help invest your philanthropic dollars. In doing so, it can provide a unique opportunity for those who wish to support the community they value and leave a legacy for the future. The Coquitlam Foundation accepts individual and corporate donations, tax deductible, by the way. To learn more about the ways you can contribute, pick up a Coquitlam Foundation donation brochure or visit our website. You can also visit our website to be informed of upcoming events, to see photos of this event and others, to learn where and when the video, which has been produced tonight or is in the production stage by Jeff Scott and the Tri-Cities Television Group, that'll show up on air eventually. Won't be tomorrow, but it takes a while. But eventually you'll have a chance to relive this night, and can't imagine why you wouldn't want to. And by the way, there's all kinds of ways to contribute to a community. Legacy, funds, donations, and also your time. And please consider volunteering to join the board of the Coquitlam Foundation if you're a Coquitlam resident. We're advertising right now for positions. You can find information on our website. I'd also like to thank Ray Farrow and the Summit Middle School Jazz Band. They were fantastic. I'd like again to thank all of the recipients of bursaries and scholarships. And we mentioned a lot tonight the potential that we see in all these young people. And that's certainly true. But what crossed my mind when I'm reading their bios is it's more than potential. They're giving right now, and they have been giving for quite a while, and they'll continue to give, and it's wonderful. And to the community groups, one of the nicest things about this event is to learn how many different community groups there are providing support to a variety of needs and also for special events in our community. We couldn't do this without a number of people, and I'd like to finish by thanking quite a few people. The Foundation's Event Committee Chair, Linda Menegello, and the event committee members and volunteers did a wonderful job. The food was fantastic. Everything's set up beautifully. Thank you so much. John Menegello, our volunteer photographer, and as I said, our website may display some of his fine work. Julie Fisher, former board member, former board chair, and still volunteers, and she arranged for the pizza that was enjoyed by the musicians from Summit Middle. Julie is currently working with Drysdale Bacon and McStravick, and we really appreciate her support. To all of our donors, supporters, and volunteers for their contribution to this evening's award night, Evergreen Cultural Center. We're here every year. They're very helpful, very cooperative. We really appreciate the support. Thrifty Foods, our refreshment sponsor. Qantas Developments, Sandpiper Signs. I mentioned Tri-Cities Photography, Tri-Cities Television, earlier, and Jeff Scott. also snapped. We're here taking photos earlier, and we appreciate the coverage of events that we get from them and their support. We appreciate our professional staff. They're the ones that often don't get thanked at all, Andrew. So tonight I want to thank Executive Director Dwight Yoakum, our Administrative Assistant Tricia Kobayashi, who you met at the entrance, and also Angela Chong, who's a bookkeeper for us. We appreciate her work as well, all year, but especially tonight. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Coquitlam Foundation, I'd like to thank all of you for attending this evening's ceremony and for your support. We encourage you to continue to mix, mingle, and visit for the rest of the evening. Thank you.